Hey guys, it's Levator Siobhan. I've received so many questions in regard to how to apply to law school. So if you'd like to get those steps and tips in anticipation to applying for law school, then stay tuned. Okay guys, number one, first and foremost, do not pass go and do not collect $200 until you do this number one important step. You must register with the Law School Admissions Council, which is the LSAC, and this is the link right here, and I will link it down in the description box below. You must register with the LSAC because without that registration, you cannot apply for law school in the first place. So without number one, you cannot do number two, which is take the LSAT, the Law School Admissions Test. The LSAT, you can only register for it on the LSAC. The LSAT is a very important test, and it's the test to determine if you get into law school. Well, it's one part that determines if you get into law school. You're scoring the LSAT, and you must take the LSAT. That is vital, and that is one of the most important steps to getting into law school. So number one, register on the LSAC. LSAC, which I will link down in the description box below. Number two, take the LSAT, LSAT, which you apply for and register on the LSAC. Okay, number three is synonymous kind of with number two. You need a good LSAT score to get into law school, but you also need a good undergrad GPA. And that is not the only thing. The law schools do not only look at your LSAT score, and they don't only look at your undergrad GPA, but it'd be nice if you had a great score and a great GPA with both of them. It would be nice if you did well in both of them, but that's not always the case. That wasn't the case with me. My LSAT score wasn't where I wanted it to be, but my GPA was very high, so that kind of balanced it out for me. So if you're in your maybe sophomore year, junior year of college, you do still have time to raise that GPA, but if you're in your senior year, you must really work towards getting a high LSAT grade. But once again, that is not the only thing that the law schools look at, and it is also nice that if you don't do as well in one, the other high score can really balance it out for you. So number one, LSAT. Number two, LSAT. Number three, GPA. Number four, you need good community service hours. Because you're going into a profession where you must advocate for clients, you must show that you are one with the people, basically. Community service is not the only thing that law schools look at, but it is also great to see that you are a people person, you are one that wants to better the community, and you are one where you just really want to zealously advocate for your client. That is one thing that you will hear a lot in law school. You must zealously advocate. You must zealously get out in the community and try to better it in some form or fashion. So number one, LSAC. Number two, LSAT. Number three, GPA. Number four, community service. Number five, you need to work on a good personal statement. Your personal statement needs to show that this is why you chose law school. You went through this, and this is what made you want to help other people. Or maybe you're coming from a different profession and you saw that profession wasn't for you. Give them a personal statement as to why you really want to go into law. Just saying that you want to make money, that's not going to cut it, you know, because there are a ton of lawyers out here that is just in it for the money, but they're clearly not in it for their client, it seems like. Show and give a good reason why you chose law as your future profession. Okay? Number six, you need 2 professional letters of recommendation. Professional meaning someone who has worked with you, someone who knows your talent, someone who knows your work ethic, someone who can speak highly of you. I understand Miss Helen was your neighbor for 17 years and she watched you grow up from a little tyke to an adult, and she can speak so highly of you, but Miss Helen cannot speak professionally of you. You need a manager, you need an academic advisor, you need someone who has seen you in a professional setting, okay? So you need at least 2 letters of recommendation. My letters of recommendations came from a judge who was my criminal law professor in undergrad, who actually exempted me from the final because I was the only one to read, and another professor. So those were 2 people who had seen me work diligently, who knew that I would ask questions, who thought highly of me. So that's why I chose those 2 to be my letters of recommendation. Number 7, this isn't something that a lot of people think of, but I think it is very important in anticipation for applying to law school. you need to look for some fee waivers. I know LSAC gives fee waivers for taking the LSAT. I believe I had my LSAT waived, but for all of the colleges that I applied to, all the law schools I applied to, I did not pay one admissions fee because I got a fee waiver with LSAC. If you are not eligible to receive that fee waiver from LSAC, just call and ask the schools if they're giving away fee waivers. Guys, please understand that closed mouths do not get fed, and those application fees range from $55 to $75 and maybe more per school. So if you do not have the extra money, and if you do not meet the qualifications for the fee waiver on LSAC, just call the schools and ask if they give away fee waivers. You'd be surprised at how many schools say yes. Number 8, you need to go to your college and request a transcript. Once again, you cannot apply for law school. Your application will be incomplete if you do not have a completed transcript. You need to just go to your registrar's office, more than likely, and you have to give them the address where you need your transcript sent to. It cannot be an electronic copy. There must be a physical copy of your transcript sent to the Law School Admissions Council, because that is who places it on your profile, along with the letters of recommendations. I did not say that in the previous number it is, but your letter of recommendation has to be sent from the person writing it to the law school admissions council physically. It cannot be emailed, guys. At least I don't think. And finally, guys, you need to have faith in yourself, believe in yourself. I cannot state how many times that I did not think that I was going to get into law school. I cannot say how many times that I doubted myself, but I still kept some kind of faith in the end. You really need to believe in yourself because you've already come this far, so there's no stopping you, okay? So just believe that this is for you. You know, if there's something else out there for you, you'll stumble upon it, but if you really believe that law school is for you, believe in yourself. Don't get discouraged by either a low GPA or a low LSAT score. There are other things that come into place in regard to your being admitted into law school, okay? So I really hope all these tips help. I really think that's all. I didn't write down a list. I was really just going off the top of my head. So I hope that's all that you need. If there is anything that I have forgotten, then I will put it down in the description box below. But I hope that that is beneficial and useful to you, and you all have a fabulous day. Thanks, guys.